Good morning, students of class 9. Welcome back to the English classes online. So today we'll do poem written by William Butler Yeats. The lake here, the title of the poem is The Lake Easley of Innisfree. So what is the poem all about? First we'll do today, then tomorrow we'll do paragraph wise. What is the poem all about? First we'll talk about William Butler Yeats. He was the greatest English poet. He received Nobel Prize in 1923 in the month of December for his literature as well as for the inspiring poems. He was very artistic. And now we will what he wants to tell us. Let's see now. Here I have written 7 points altogether. We'll talk about one by one. Number 1, it's all about the poem. First we'll talk about that. This poem reflects, it shows on the calmness, tranquility of life. The calmness of life. When you are calm and at peace, you can think clearly. You can enjoy the nature. You can enjoy your work. He tells us the calmness of life. In fact, living in a cottage in a rural areas far away from the noises of the cities in a cottage is very different from busy life, city life. The city life is very busy. But in a rural areas far away from cities, the life is very peaceful, calm. You have fresh air. You can hear the sound of the birds. You can hear the rustling of the leaves when the wind blows. So now, life in a cottage far away from the city is different. Number 2, we can enjoy nature when there is peace of mind. Not only nature, you can enjoy everything, your work. And you can have a lot of new ideas that can come in your mind. So when you are at peace, you can do your work properly, you can enjoy the nature. So we can enjoy nature when there is peace of mind. But real peace is quite impossible in a city. The real peace, it's quite difficult to find in a city. The only thing you need to keep yourself away from this din and bustle, hustle and bustle of this city life. So this shows us that sometimes we need to be alone. It is necessary to be alone sometimes so that you can realize, you can think about the work you are doing, you can realize what mistakes you have made, you can enjoy the nature. So in this way, calmness is necessary. During the day, some part you must keep it for yourself so that you can remain at peace. Here, number 3, here the poet says, what does he say? Here the poet says he is going to Innisfree to build a small cottage. He is thinking that I'll go to Innisfree, it's a small lake in Ireland. So I'll go there and build a small hut or a cottage. He will have a small garden there. He will have a small garden there, rows of flower beds, and there will be trees. There will be a beehive. I can sit every morning or evening, I can sit outside near the garden and listen to the humming of the bees. I can listen to the birds chirping on the trees in the garden. So enjoyable, so peace. And I can enjoy the flowers, looking at the flowers. So it gives me pleasure. So here the poet says he is going to Innisfree, a small island in Ireland, to build a small cottage there, and he wanted to remain alone for some time. He will have a small garden there with a lot of flowers and trees and a honeybee hive so that he can hear the humming of the bees, so that he can watch the bees building their hives, bringing the nectar from the flowers. I can enjoy. So the writer says that. Number 4, he wants to live alone in peace with nature. He loves nature. He wanted to be with nature. So that's why he wants to live alone in peace in nature. He has the desire. He has the desire. He longs to. He has the desire to enjoy the slow pace, the speed, the slow pace of countryside living. The life in a city is very fast. It's moving very fast. But in a countryside, the life is very slow, and the people can enjoy fresh air. The people can enjoy the nature, the natural sounds, the sound of the insects at night, the crickets, insects chirping, making noise. Such a peaceful place. Countryside living. He wanted to enjoy the countryside living because it has a slow pace. Number 5, whenever he is alone in a city, after hard day's work, whenever he is alone, whenever he rests and alone in his room, he can imagine, he hears the lake water, the lake of Innisfree, lapping against the shore. When the wind blows, the water, there are small waves. The wind creates small waves, and the waves, when it touches the shore, it makes a lapping sound. He imagines, he hears the lapping sound of the water, shore of the lake. Number 6, he is drawn, attracted. He is drawn to the rural sound of Innisfree. He imagines and he is drawn. And he is drawn to the sound of the countryside, especially there in Innisfree. The lapping sound of the lake water. When it touches the shore, the sound of the insects, the sound of the birds chirping on the trees, the birds flying in the blue sky, and the flowers, the bees humming in their beehive, the bees fluttering flying above the flower gardens. He wanted to hear and listen and watch. He is drawn to the rural sound of Innisfree. He is attracted to the natural sound of nature. He likes to hear the natural sound of the nature. But in the city, it's quite impossible to hear all these things. That's why he has a desire, strong desire to go to Innisfree and build a hut and stay there for some time, away from the busy life of the city. He has the desire to keep himself aloof. Aloof means alone, away from the crowd, aloof from the din and bustle, hustle and bustle, you can say that, the noise, the sound, the busy life, din and bustle of the city life for some time. Sometimes he wanted to remain aloof. Whenever he is in the city and whenever he is free and resting peacefully, quietly, alone, he remembers those things and imagines those things about the natural sound, about the nature, about the peaceful life of the countryside. So that's all for about the poem. Now in our next class we'll go stanza wise. So this much for today. So we'll meet in the next class, and I hope you have understood what it is all about. The poem William Butler Yeats wants to tell us that it is necessary to keep yourself alone for some time so that you can have peace of mind, you can imagine, you can have good ideas, you can think properly. So it is necessary, and it is also good for health. So that's all for today. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you for watching the video.